Cinema Shogun here, and one of the people that was on board the imploded Titanic sub was P.H. Nargeolet, a man that has been deemed as Mr. Titanic because he had successfully dived down to the Titanic 37 times. He died on his 38th dive. But before doing so, he collected over 5,000 artifacts from the Titanic. He is known as one of the most knowledgeable Titanic experts out there. If you know about the Titanic, or if you're interested in the Titanic, then you probably learned half of what you know from him or from the studies that he has done. Well, you see, P.H. Nargeolet worked alongside RMS Titanic Inc., which I think has the rights to excavating the Titanic, to, finding some of the artifacts on the Titanic and stuff like that. I think they have the rights to the wreckage, if you will. I'm not so sure how that works, but I guess it works. Well, anyway, this company, if you want to call it that, the RMS Titanic Inc., it just so happens that they are conducting their own little investigation into Stockton Rush and the claims that he made about how safe the Titanic sub was. It seems to me like the RMS Titanic Inc., I think they were duped. I think that in some ways, they were sort of tricked into allowing P.H. Nargeolet to go aboard that sub. And now they're looking into past documents, past claims, and this whole story, it's starting to heat up. I reported to you all in the last video that there's a possibility that criminal charges are brought against people at OceanGate, including things like manslaughter. How likely that is, I don't know, but it's not ruled out as a possibility yet. But while you're here, I know you enjoyed the videos. Hit that thumbs up button. Let's get this video to 3,000 likes if we can. And let's go ahead and dive right in and figure out what's going on. RMS Titanic Inc. probing if Cavalier Stockton Rush misled them to get P.H. Nargeolet aboard the doomed sub. The Titanic Foundation, spearheaded by sub-victim Paul Henry Nargeolet, is probing OceanGate head Stockton Rush's claims of how safe his vessel was ahead of the fateful dive when it imploded on June 18th. Rush was a Cavalier guy, according to RMS Titanic Inc. President Jessica Sanders, who is reviewing whether the organization should have ever let Nargeolet aboard the vessel, which Rush told potential passengers was way safer than flying in a helicopter, or scuba diving, or even crossing the street. The Titanic Foundation is reviewing its records and court filings in the wake of the tragedy and questioning the truthfulness of Rush's statements, Sanders said. We have now our own internal questions about the representations OceanGate made that we made the basis on giving PH the okay to go, she says. We are going back and looking at that now ourselves internally, because there were representations not only made to us, but made to the court that now we have to go back and verify because of these stories that are coming up that question them. In the U.S., RMS Titanic Inc. has the salvage rights to the shipwreck of the Titanic, which were granted in 1993 by a court in Norfolk, Virginia, and the company always consults with the court before recovering anything from the sunken ship. Artifacts from the wreck are subject to a special set of conditions, which means they have to be displayed together and made available for academic research. The court also reviews other plans for those wishing to visit the wreck. And Eastern District of Virginia Judge Rebecca Beach Smith has been reviewing their expedition plans for multiple years. Rush openly declared that he was a maverick, had used unconventional methods and materials to make his sub, and said he didn't apply to get it classified or certified as safe because it was a multi-year process that took too long. He believed bringing an outside entity up to speed on his work, which included the first of its kind carbon fiber hull that imploded, killing all 5 aboard, were not good for his rapid form of innovation. Nargeolet and RMS Titanic Inc., where he served as director of underwater research, took a different approach and took steps to ensure they were following various regulations and allowing him to join the June 18th mission to the sea floor. Sanders says that Nargeolet joined the expedition not for research purposes, but strictly as a guest of OceanGate, in line with their reporting requirements to a federal judge, Sanders said. He approached us initially and said OceanGate is doing these expeditions. Is there a conflict? She recalled. They okayed the trip after careful consideration, Sanders said. Nargeolet had been to the wreck of the Titanic over 35 times, had also been a passenger on the Titan a number of times as well, and was very close to Rush. U.S. Coast Guard officials revealed that the Titan suffered a catastrophic implosion and lost all communication with the outside world while attempting to explore the Titanic wreckage. So it's not looking good for OceanGate. Long story short, it's looking really bad for OceanGate right now. You got the Coast Guard doing their investigations. You got various agencies doing little investigations into this situation. There's a possible criminal investigation that's going to come about. Possible criminal charges brought against members of OceanGate. Lawsuits are going to be flying from every direction. Honestly, Stockton Rush is lucky that he's not here right now, because he would have never recovered from this. They're going to sue every family connected to whoever was on board that ship. They're going to be suing. There's going to be lawsuits coming from all over the place, like I said. And Stockton Rush I believe, would have been hit with criminal charges for a fact. I mean, I can't say a fact, it's my opinion, but it's not looking good. And now we even have these independent companies and stuff. They're conducting their own research. They're looking back into their documents and all of the various conversations they had with OceanGate and Stockton Rush, because in reality, Stockton Rush, he misled them. Stockton Rush misled everyone. And that's why I was telling you all in the last video, even though you have people sign waivers, there's limitations as to how much that can protect you. You can't have someone sign a waiver to get aboard your ship, and if something goes wrong, we're not going to be held accountable, and not let them know that, hey, we're using expired materials. We're using materials that aren't even certified to go this deep in the ocean. Our window's not regulated to go this deep. There are so many things. There are so many corners that he cut that led to this disaster. And even though people signed a waiver, it's not going to protect them 100% from being grossly negligent. Gross negligence is the word. You know, simple negligence, you can get away with that. You can't get away with gross negligence. And in my opinion, Stockton Rush not only knew the dangers, he basically knew that something was bound to go wrong. He knew that the materials he used were wrong. And if this is not gross negligence, then I don't know what is. He threw them down in a tin can at the bottom of the ocean, and crossed his fingers and hoped for the best. And I think that he was the type of guy who was willing to take those risks, but that doesn't mean that you put everyone else at risk. Now, this PH Nargeolet, I don't think he had any business going down there. It's disappointing to me that he was the Titanic aficionado who had dived down to the Titanic countless times, so he should know about this stuff just as well as anyone else. And apparently Stockton Rush was able to con him into believing that it was safe, or else I don't think he would have ever hopped aboard. But they said that he had a good relationship with Stockton Rush. Maybe he felt like Stockton Rush was smarter than everyone else in the sub community, because Stockton Rush damn sure thought he was, and we see how that turned out. Out of everyone who died aboard that craft, PH Nargeolet is who sticks out to me the most. Because if anyone should have known better, I feel like maybe it should have been him. But I think Stockton Rush was a salesman, if you will. I think he was good at talking people into things. He was good at making you second question your inner feeling, your inner gut feeling that told you it wasn't safe. He was good at playing on people's emotions, and that's how he got people aboard his craft. Not only aboard the craft, but got people to spend $250,000 a ticket. You let me know what you think about this, though, down in the comments below. Hopefully, we'll see in the future if something comes of this. If it does, I will update you all. Let me know your thoughts down below. Hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.